Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Real Madrid Hub again. I'm your host, Dr. Jota, and today I wanted to talk to you all about three different topics, in my opinion, the most important topics. Today, I won't be making these short clips as my good friend Eric Rivera will be taking care of that, because he will be cooperating, day in, day out in the channel, helping me with the short clips and all the stuff, so I can be here with you all in longer videos, giving my own opinions about the most important and the most outstanding topics of the day. And today, of course, I wanted to talk to you all about three different topics. I will be talking about the deal for Rafa Varane, which is pretty much done, and apparently this week it's going to be official, and he will play for the next 5 seasons in Manchester United. Also, I would like to talk about Diogo Dalot, because in my opinion this signing is heating up right now, and it might be closer than we think to Real Madrid. And the last topic will be about Kylian Mbappe, of course, and the possibility for us to hear something else about him this week. So let me get started and let me talk to you all about the deal for Rafa Varane, which is pretty much, like I said, it's almost done. Apparently the latest information that we have is that Real Madrid, Manchester United and Rafa Varane agreed completely 100%. So its deal is done and it will be announced right this week. As you know, Rafa Varane has to come back to Madrid first, and then once he gets back, he will sign whatever he has to sign. And of course, this week, I would say maybe Thursday, maybe Friday, he will fly off to Manchester, and then he will be presented as a new Manchester United player. I think that I told you all, I think it was yesterday or last night. In my opinion, if Real Madrid gets a deal for about 55-60 million, it's still good. In the last year contract of a player, you can't force to, or you can't ask more money or high money or super crazy money for him, because the only reason for that is pretty much because it's in the last year contract. So that way, if you are unable to sell the player for, say, about 50 million, 60 million or something like that, you are taking so many risks, considering that Rafa Varane might leave for free the next year. You know what I'm saying? So when a player is in the last year contract, it's almost impossible for the team who has the rights over the player to ask, like something like crazy money. I don't know, maybe 70 million, maybe 75 million or something like that. So in my opinion, if we are able to sell Rafa Varane for about 55-60 million or something like that, it's going to be great. We can complain, because in my opinion, Rafa Varane, although he's one of the most valuable assets that we have, considering he's in the last year contract, is good enough. And I will be so happy if we are able to sell Rafa Varane after 10 years to Manchester United for about 55 or even 60 million. And what is even better is the deal that the player, has reached with Manchester United. The agreement for him, it's gotta be great, is 5 seasons what he is going to play in Manchester United, and he will make about 10 million euros per season, which is not double the price he was making in Real Madrid, because he was making about 6 million or something like that, but it's still very good. You have to keep in mind, this might be the last big contract for Rafa Varane in his soccer career. And considering he's 28 years old and he has played in France, in Spain, and then now if he is able to play in the Premier League, it's gotta be great. I don't think that the money has been the main reason, the main issue that he had with Real Madrid, or he has had with Real Madrid. In my opinion, the only reason that has pushed the player out of Real Madrid is pretty much to try something new, a new challenge, a new project or something like that. So I don't think, and I don't want to even think, that it was the money the reason for him to move out to Manchester United or to play for Manchester United. I don't really think that way. So whatever it is, this week we will know something else about that, and I would say that pretty much Thursday or even Friday, he might be presented as a new Manchester United player. So the best of the luck to Rafa Varane. I wish him the best, of course, and let's see how much money we can make with the player. So now let's move on and let's get start talking about the right back position in Real Madrid. As you know, we are trying to sign Kylian Mbappe. We are trying to sign maybe a fourth center back for the back line, but we haven't heard too much about the right back position. And the only player, the only name we have heard about is Diogo Dalot, the player of Manchester United who has been playing the last season in Milan. He did a very great job in the Italian team. He scored 2 goals and he assisted 2 times in 33 games that he played. So he's a very good player. He's super young player. He's 22 years old, and he also participated in the European Championship the last month of July. So what I'm seeing here is a player who is trending upwards right now, and that is why Manchester United, even with Milan asking to Manchester United to set a price for the player and try to buy the player, Manchester United refused to sell the player because, in my opinion, they are very aware that the player can develop very good tactics, or can improve even more than now and become a much better player than he is right now, right? So that is the only reason why I think that Manchester United don't want to get rid of the player, and that's why I think that Real Madrid will struggle to sign this player. But I mean, anyways, the player is great. So Ancelotti apparently has asked to Real Madrid to try to sign the player, and it is not the first time. When Carlo Ancelotti was coaching to Everton, Diogo Dalot was in his list, and it was another. I mean, he had the chance to sign the player, but finally he didn't, and now apparently he wants to sign the player for Real Madrid, which is, in my opinion, something really interesting because, like I said, we are very weak in that position. I mean, the right back of Real Madrid is we don't have too many players for that position. We only have 2 players. The number one is Dani Carvajal, the second one is Álvaro Odriozola. But according to the latest information that we have, Álvaro Odriozola will not important for Carlo Ancelotti, and he might leave Real Madrid. So if you only will keep one player for that position, in my opinion, what you have to do, what we need to happen is to sign another player, because you have to have at least 2 players per position. And Diogo Dalot, in my opinion, for the next decade, for the next project, that'd be great, man. He's a very young player, he's a very promising player, he's a player who still can improve significantly more. So in my opinion, he would be a very good signing. So if we are able to go ahead and try to sign to Diogo Dalot, in my opinion, that'd be great. So what I'm reading right now is that the situation, the possible signing, is heating up just because Ancelotti is asking to Florentino Perez to sign the guy. So I completely agree with that. The right back position, we have a bunch of players in the left back position. We have a bunch of players in the center back position. We have a bunch of players in the midfield. What is going to happen with the right back, man? We can't afford to forget that this position is very weak so far. So we need more players and signings and rumors about players that, might play in that position. It's not enough to have just one player in one position, whatever it is, but in the right back, it is happening. And let me tell you what, Carvajal, I'm not going to say that he's injured, but yesterday, I think it was yesterday, he didn't show up in the training ground and nobody knows what is going on. I don't think though it's big deal, but it's still scary because last season you could see it, man. Carvajal spent the 90% of the season injured, and we didn't have a natural replacement for Dani Carvajal. So Zinedine Zidane had to spend a lot of time, making a lot of tactical adjustments to, accommodate that position to the rest of the squad. So we can't afford to spend one more season with no replacements for the right back, right? So, okay, now that we have talked a little bit about Diogo Dalot, let's move on and let's start to talk about the most important news that we have, or what is even more important. something that might happen right this week is the signing of Kylian Mbappe. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say that we will sign to Kylian Mbappe this week. I mean, hopefully it happened, but it's not going to happen. The thing is, we might hear something else about the signing of Kylian Mbappe, because the latest news that we have that came out from L'Equipe is that apparently Kylian Mbappe has refused again another offer to renew his contract with PSG, because apparently, and this is the excuse that allegedly the player has put to PSG, he's not very sure about the next project of PSG to win the champions. I mean, believe it or not, PSG is the team that is signing more players, more than any other team in Europe, and he, apparently, Kylian Mbappe, is not still convinced about that. Okay, I get it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, PSG has signed already to Sergio Ramos, Achraf Hakimi, Wijnaldum, and Donnarumma, right? So if that is not enough, okay, man, okay, I understand. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking right now. I mean, I'm okay with that, because no matter what the excuse that he put to PSG to leave and join Real Madrid, I mean, in my opinion, I'm 100% okay with that. But, I mean, nobody will believe it, right? I mean, if there's any team in the soccer spectrum right now in Europe who is putting everything they got on the table to build up a super project, a super team, that one is PSG. Because she's signing a lot of good players and they are getting ready for the next season, and in my opinion, they will become, the next year, they will become one of the most strong and competitive teams that we will see in Europe. So they are, one of the, I would say, top 1, top 2, top 3 teams in Europe right now when it comes to signings and project and all the stuff. I mean, however, I have to see what is going on and what is going to happen to PSG when it comes to finances. As you know, the organism which controls pretty much everything about finances in the French teams and all the stuff, they are pointing out right now to PSG saying, hey, it's okay if you sign players, it's okay if you put in very good salaries, but keep in mind you have to sell a bunch of players, you have to get rid of a bunch of salaries to balance the budget. So if you don't, you will have so many problems and you might be, I don't know, maybe suspended or maybe fined or something like that. So we will have to see that. But for the most part, PSG right now is building up a super team, and in my opinion, they are creating a very interesting project. So I'm okay if Kylian Mbappe is not 100% convinced about that. So I am even better if he is hinting that he wants to join Real Madrid. But I don't know, maybe we can hear something this week about Kylian Mbappe, just because before the French season gets started, the next August the 1st, I think that the family of the player is pushing hard to Real Madrid to do something. And yesterday, I think I told you and I shared that with you all, Real Madrid had made the call already to PSG to ask for Kylian Mbappe. So now that he has to come back to Paris, then I would say that this week we will hear something else, and in my opinion it's going to be in the right direction, in the direction that is the most interesting for us, for Los Madridistas. And I don't know, man, just keep crossing the fingers, and hopefully in a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, we can hear that Real Madrid and PSG have reached an agreement, and Kylian Mbappe will sign and will play for Real Madrid. Let's see what happens. So for now and on, just let me know your comments in the section below. Hit the subscribe button, of course, and stay tuned in the channel. Real Madrid Hub, Dr. J here.